Hello, and welcome back. Excuse me. Got to learn that there are some things you don't do when you're recording. Right, okay then, let's just have a... So I think, to be honest, we've literally done all that we can. Let me just quickly look at the animals. Yeah, you as well. Just go up to the beach. Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think these are the ones I'm waiting for, and these I'm just literally just check these before starting the recording, just to catch my bearings, and they're still grass, so still I can't, should have paid better attention. I have a feeling it's 06, I seem to recall me did it that actually called, whoa, yeah, right, okay then, so, yeah. Mary driving, so sensitive. It's funny when you just come into the game, you just readjusting to the sensitivity of your, I use an Xbox One wireless controller for my PC. I really do like it actually, it's fantastic. Did have a wide on for a bit, but it's so much nicer to switch my indicator off. In fact, I'm doing this. I said I was going to the VGA. Yeah. This is just really for myself, just as a bit of a recollection onto exactly where we were, to get my bearings, you could say. A little bit of top of fuel, so let's go in. I'm quite proud of myself for remembering to indicate. Love topping up this, it is so cheap to actually do. Which is very rare when you're using one of the bigger tractors, the hundreds of pounds. It's not the first time you've seen a £472 bill for filling your tractor up and you think, oh, wow, it's a bit of a pricey fill up, but it is what it is. Now, actually, let's recall, we will have a tight touch of digestates to I'm not going to think about doing things like sheds because, as I said, we've already discussed, we are literally definitely in the process of going to buy the farmyard, the proper farmyard. That's definitely a given now. It's just a matter of whether we sell fields, which I don't really want to, or whether by the time that we get to the point where we can afford that, with animals, grass, whatever. I'm not sure, as I say, I have a feeling there is one more cut tomorrow, whether it's late on or not. I'm almost sure that it's weird that, when you've done this so many times, you do sort of get that recollection of, in fact, yeah, I don't really think we've even got that. We've just checked the animals and they're all fine. So, let's go and speed up time, because for once there really is so very little to do, and I'm not going to try to make work or stall. I want this, as I've always said all along with this Let's Play, I want this to be about natural progression. So I'm not afraid to speed up time if necessary. We haven't got any work to be doing with. Just one quick thing I do want to do, if I get the right screen. I want to check to see if we've done the weed. Yeah, we have. I have done the spraying on all fields. That's all right. I just wanted to make sure that I'd not missed anything. It's easy to miss one little detail like that. So I am definitely leaning to getting a run around at some point. Just not yet, as I say, because it's right at this minute. Is that showing signs of damage again after I prayed for a respray. I don't understand why all of a sudden it started to... Is that just signs of damage again? Ah, I shall have to look into that, because I literally resprayed it, so that makes no sense to me. I'm trying to sleep. Right, let's speed up time. We're going to go to tea time, about 4ish, and then we'll have a quick look at the field data. We'll do that on the map rather than running around everything, just to see. Let's give it a few seconds to... Let's get rid of the grass to see. Yeah, we've got no data at all. Growth, yeah, all still on harvested, so there's definitely not going to be any miraculous turnaround of those by the morning. I don't know, we may get a growing, but we're certainly not going to be getting any miraculous new cuts from that. So right, let's take that on to, let's try 7. Seven till 8. So let's do that. It's getting the light. The nights are drawing in the mornings, so it's darker later. Yeah, look at that. 8 o'clock. It's still not really. Sun's just rising. I do love that. Well, I didn't mention it much, but I did notice in editing how beautiful it is. Seasons is, to be honest, I must admit that autumn is my absolute favourite season. I think it is a lot of people's for how beautiful it looks, but this game is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it really? With the, let's just speed it up to 9 o'clock and get a bit more light. Right, I'm surprised. I think we're going to get a wave. I do think we're going to get a growth wave, even if this is not, which we know it's not going to be ready to go from harvest. But I swear that this is literally going to... Got the tractor near me and I'm running. Right, habits. Let's go and get on with the animals first. Now I would imagine at some point soon that growth wave is going to sweep across and you're going to get a grow, but there's definitely no way that by the end of today that's going to change to... One thing I am going to do though, might not be at this time, but while I'm over this side of the map, I'm going to pop over and check the bales. I think it is 06, it's just I'm not 100% sure of what time today would be. I think it would be tea time if I think back to when we cut. What is it? I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking of field 19, not 18. Oh, it was late, I do remember. Yeah, the dark, I remember. It definitely was. So again, I don't think these will have popped over. I'm sure it was 04. But we shall check. While we're over this side, it makes sense to have a quick look rather than race over the other side of the map or to the other fields. Let's have a quick look. And then we're going to go and do the animals, and then we will speed up time again. So about tea time, I should say, for both this. First job that should be done for any farmer that has animals is animals. Unless of course you've got a routine and it's at 9 o'clock in the morning, which it just happens to be 9 o'clock in the morning. But what I mean is if I was tazzing around earlier, and obviously your animals are used, so quite amazing how actually animals do have that routine as well. We do know when it's feeding time. The cow's often low when it's feeding time or milking time. It's just quite amazing how animals have got that inbuilt. Oi, come on, where's my breakfast? Yeah. Or when is it milking time as well? Definitely for cows. Well, definitely no growth wave at present. Definitely not even a growing, which that surprised me. I'm sure there is some activity on the last day of autumn. Although I suppose it depends on when you cut the grass. Yes, it'll be me that's got my wires crossed. I'm good at doing that. Sorry about that, just had to briefly pause the game. This trying to create content is a relatively new thing, and my family haven't got used to the I should have a red recording thing on my door to warn people I'm recording, but until this has become a thing and I warn people in the house not to yawp, it's my turn to make a cup of tea, then yeah. Just hope you can forgive the intrusion. Right, let's get into Farming Simulator head. 26 odd thousand, not much more than that for this, because it is so heavy for it. It is. I should have bought the bigger Sammy, to be honest. This was a bit silly of me, but yeah, still in this. Oh yes, I'd forgotten I've got the other Fed GT here a while back. I know what we'll do as well. Let's get the Volvo started. Let's go and do the water while that's starting. And let's tip that. Right, so now then let's get that cleaned up first. Let's see now what the manure is up to 41,000, so we could actually technically do one run, but I think, to be honest, we're going to wait for it to be much higher. But probably 2 loads, and 80,000 is what I tend to do on this. It's just my normal practice. Should be spot on. We shall see. I find that it's one of the hardest things in the game to do, that gauging of where the flat point is. I'm not, and also how low it is before it starts to grab. There's quite a lot actually on the ground. For you actually, because I can never always feel like I'm going to go into the hay one behind me. Shouldn't be too much more, because I did have 9,000. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, spot on. Right, okay then. Let's speed up time sedately whilst we're travelling across the map. Do it up to 120, because literally I am going to take this up to tea time, because we've done all we can. The animals are the most important job, so they're all done. I'm sure we should at some point during today growth wave. But they are all on the same stage. Literally I've just harvested, even though they were all cut a day or two apart, so I can't see there being any miraculous. I think it might go to the growing stage, and it does seem to do that. Maybe get that later, but it's certainly not going to be. There's no way we're going to have a miraculous last cut on this. So anything now that's going to take us up to. We all know, obviously, the one thing is about if I'm buying stuff off fields or going into normal farming, I will not only need a lot of equipment, which would mean some sort of loan. Obviously want the yard, I've said that already, so got 155,000, we're going to have, we're going to have a lot of silage, thinking about it, from a payout from this, when this is ready. I'm thinking of spring. Obviously I know winter's coming, it's not really that, it's the expansion. Obviously in seasons is winter really is quite a dead time where nothing sort of really, still grass. Okay, let's switch the engine off, and that's 12:38 to 40. Let's speed up time properly to 2000 and just take that up to about 4 o'clock. Of course, it gets quite dark, doesn't it, even at tea time in winter. Yeah, Graston. Okay, so I would imagine then morning. Let's take these back across. So then we're going to speed time up, sleep the night, pop over to the animals first thing in the morning, and we shall see. We'll come and check these again, to be honest. Being as we're this close up to this end by the morning, we'll just check the... let's get my lights on. We're going to be this side of the map rather than, and then we'll go and do the animals, which we've done that. But one thing I don't want to do is to get sidetracked and start to drag the bales around. So I think what I'm going to do to cut that out is literally I'm going to go and do the animals first. That way it seems to be my way that I always get sidetracked. 7 o'clock was when I could sleep last night. So. Same again, 13 hours till 8 o'clock in the morning. In fact, I should have done 14. Did I? I thought we were on 05. Why has it switched to 01 early winter? I don't get that. Oh. We had some sort of... What happened to 06 autumn? Right, well. We seem to have had a season split. I'll check that on my recording, but I'm sure that was... Well... To say I'm flabbergasted is an understatement. do love seeing the twinkling lights on this. It's amazing. In fact, the lights on this are quite, the dynamic lighting really is quite phenomenal. I remember too, yes I did. Shut the gate. I was going to flip and have a look at the animals then, but I thought I'm just going there now. What's the point in looking at the cleanliness when I can see it from my own eyes? It's amazing sometimes with the game, into the mechanics that sort of slip into your head when really you're actually going to do it physically anyway. You go in there, just repair this again or whatever, because switch that on because that takes the longest to start. Some hay as well. I think I did that yesterday. It doesn't tick down very badly anyway, because it's not the most important food. So it's a bit like the grass. I mean, we've not filled grass up since I think the first day, because it's such a lesser food. It really doesn't. Let's have a look. It wasn't the right one. Yeah, look at that. The grass is. It's lost about 3,000 or 4,000. There's just such a tiny touch from it that it's almost unbelievable. Right, let's go and clean that. Let's dump that first. Let's start with a clean. See if this time as well we can do it without dumping it over the back of the wagon like I did last time. Yay! That's better. That was much better. That was more like it should have been. Let's try and get this level. Almost on the floor. It is on the floor, so that should really grab that. It's amazing how I always tend to gauge that so wrong. Right. 60,000. Yeah, and tomorrow morning we'll do that. Let's start with a clean shovel in the morning though. Let's do this right. So like there's that much to do that we. Productivity, we know that's productivity. Cleanliness is 51. Health 88. Okay then. Okay. Early winter. Really, we've got very little to do now other than the animals. Say tomorrow. Yeah, we'll do that. That should be up to about 80,000 I think, and then we'll whiz that over and actually get a bit of real work done. Well, I'm not saying the animals aren't real work, because they are, but I know what I mean. Such a good. Okay. Let's take this. winter's the funny time, isn't it, really, where you truly do, you've got to speed time up. But in seasons, this is definitely the dead time of the year. Why not? We're going to do it tomorrow now. I'm not going to faff around, but we're going to look at the silage. That should definitely have turned. Let's do 14 as well. I want this to go to 9 o'clock. Brilliant. Spot on. Wow, it's still... Wow, that is really... Great demand at Slurry Yard. Excellent. What is that out there? And what is it? 795. Slurry. Okay. Well, it just so happens that I don't have any slurry, so I'm going to miss out on that one. I can't have everything. I've made my decision. I always go for the for manure rather than slurry, so can't have everything. Let's jump the... Okay, need to do that. I was going to jump it, but do it the proper way. We'll open the gates, right? How much? 74,000. Yeah, that's spot on. Brilliant. Let's start the engine on this first. That all again on time, right? Gotta get better at that. I know what we're going to do though, actually. I am going to literally fill this and then leave it here and get the bigger Sammy in a bit to tow that over there. Area. Let's see if we can gauge this. No, we can't. Wow, that was a terrible, terrible guess. So I'm going to tab because I'm stuck on the right. I've got to remember that you get out on the right hand side. Right, let's go and get the other Sammy, and then we're going to check the silage because I have a sneaky feeling that that's I think that was done yesterday, to be honest. So let's get that running over to the BGA and get a bit of activity because that's quite a big. There's a lot of bales there, so that's the biggest chance of us earning enough to get the proper farmyard and start on our journey to traditional farming. The thing is, I don't want to miss the sowing window. Mind you, I don't suppose it doesn't matter really if you sow the day after the first day, does it? We might have to change our crops, go for a different rotation than we would have liked to do, just to compensate for the fact that the time when we'd need to buy a seeder, because we're going to need to do that early on. Harvester can come much later on, that's not going to matter straight away. going to the BGA without the grass. Right, okay. We should, being as we know our way around this place, we should scenic route, and we shall visit our neighbours. But probably, well, no, it's 9:30 actually. Most people have probably gone to work by this time in the morning. Just playing, just role playing. Need any fuel? Good. I must remember a neighbour Sammy as well that's on that field. In fact, I think it's on the Adjuranti, if I paid any attention to my surroundings when I was there. Which, as you know from past times, when I'm looking for a particular... When I was looking for the Volvo and actually was in the BGA, and literally went right past it without realising I would just have been past it. Yes. Powers of perception, my wife would tell you, that are not the best in the world, truthfully. Now then. Oh, I do love this. The bouncy path is so phenomenal. Yay! Smashing. Right. So then that's going to be one payout tonight, and then we're going to have the slurry from the digestate, I would say, by the time I sped up time. Dinner time or just after? So yes. Gonna have to get the Volvo at some point, aren't we, to get these off. Let's put the Big Sammy on me. In editing, I have noticed, I think I've got my sound not far off right. This is probably one of the loudest, but then so is the original Sammy. I've noticed you can hear me a little bit better over the volume, so hoping I've got that right. But again, if I'm wrong and you guys think that it needs changing, I shall knock it down a little bit more. Just what seems okay to me is not necessarily... It just hit me. Right. Now this is one thing where I do actually prefer the little Sammy. Oh, I didn't mean to do that, I meant to do that. Yeah, that corner is very tight in this BGA, and the little Sammy with its tiny little frame is so good at manoeuvring in that section. When there's been a bigger tractor, I often sort of graze against the walls with my tyres. Now then, let's not scare that driver in front with this massive tractor behind him by getting too close. Let's look for the mad drivers coming out of that junction as well. Indicate. Let's remember to turn the indicator off. As close as we can. Thank you very much for your assistance. Let's turn your indicator off as well. Switch the lights off. And yeah, we need to change view on this. This is the one time when that view. Ooh, I'm quite impressed. That was actually no grazing. I didn't look. I actually missed the wall, and I always do that. When am I going to learn? Absolutely fantastic about an auto load in this situation. Oh, it's going to look again, isn't it? See, oh, that'll fall in, that's fine. Right, let's turn that light off and on. we'll go and get the Volvo. Right, okay. Yeah, let's use our brain. Let's go and grab the Volvo. We'll leave the Sammy. We're going to leave the Sammy on that corner, because we are going to need in a little while the container for the digestate. So in fact, yeah, it makes more sense to grab that and stick that just on the verge or just on the pavement over there. I suppose that's a little bit realistic. You wouldn't do that, would you? No, let's stick it on that corner then there. There's many a farmer parked on the verge. That's not going to hurt at all. Grab this, grab the Volvo. Let's just tick time up a bit and learn my lesson from some of my other things to let the digestate tick a little bit. I always seem to forget that. I am trying to be a little bit more conscious of watching bales is not the most interesting things. It's all a learning curve on trying to get or gauge the best way to do something. So I am trying to get my timings a little better. Hopefully in time I'll do that, so it's not dragging you through a 10 minutes torturous session on watching bales moving to the digester. It is important. I want to get it. I don't want you guys to miss anything, but I also want to try to get it so that it flows well. Something that Frithgar's always going on about, and it is true. It's obviously you know that we can cut things out with editing, but if you can actually do your bit as a content creator and actually create the content in the best possible way to begin with, that's obviously a much better way of doing things than cutting bits out on your recordings just to get it right in the first place. So right, let's pull on this verge, on this corner, remembering that is very long. Just see. Yeah, that's passable. I can live with that. I'm not blocking the road. I mean, I'm slightly obscuring it, but I don't think anybody would. Just have to hope there's not a policeman that's popping by early in the morning for this 2 minutes while I'm going to get the Volvo. And it's that. Oh, total thrashing. Let's just see if this time I do a better job than I did last time. I seem to recall this was an awful. Let's do this. That's on the other side, isn't it? I was very, very displeased with my performance last time with getting the manual bale handling into the silage, into the digester. So we shall see if this time I can do a better job. It would be nice to sell them that and use the proper sleep trigger if we manage to buy the farmyard, which is my big intention. Right, let's get an angle right and put that on. Follow me with this. Get your angle right, or follow me does not. Doesn't work properly. Both ways. Excellent. Right, we got away with that. No policemen. Or police people. this time of political correctness where every word you say can be taken out. Oh, I see you. Oh, please don't get my little Volvo. Oh, I've done it, haven't I? I've done it. That's trying to be quick. Yeah, I know. I was trying to avoid you. Okay. Sure. It's that. I was trying to avoid the... I know. We're going. Hold your horses. I don't know. These impatient drivers. Doing on the digester. Aha, we're dropping down, so it's taking some off there. Let's let that continue to tick down. We're going to get on that and get in position at the very least. And let's not go up to 60 and learn from our previous mistakes of having it on way too slow. Drive the Sammy nose first into there because there really isn't much room for 3 vehicles in this place. We'll reverse back in a minute. Let's give myself room to get out. To be come out of the tractor in the wall. Come on, let's do it 120 then. It's too painful to be sitting here for 10 minutes. Oh, it's taken off the trailer. That's good. Brilliant. Right, let's knock that down to 30 then now. Let's get this Sammy out of the way to make room for... And I am going to learn from my previous mistakes. I think the reason I did such a bad job the last time I did this was there was no room. I really did make things very tight for myself, so let's just try and learn. And also, I'm trying to think the best way to do this. When I used to do this, no, that's not going to work. Let's... Oh, no, I need to grab that actually, because I need to do that. And prove that I'm not a total incompetent. So I'm only a partial incompetent. Let's try to do that. Should get all of these in, to be honest. With that type of be careful, I'm going forward here. Go for the right hand side. If I clip it, just clip it slightly. Should, if I'm lucky, I'll either get the one behind. Yes, perfect. Actually did it exactly towards what I hoped. This is what I was saying about the reach on this. At some point, that is another thing I'd love, and that is a telehandler. I really do love telehandlers. That'll do. That wasn't what I was aiming for, but that'll do nicely. that mean then I can just drop them on the yellow square? Am I like overdoing this? Am I really making this job harder than it ought to be? Let's just try. It's like, I know some digesters are different than others, and I've always known that, but on this type normally, I can just drop it on the square. And yet that one's not gone in. Weird that, isn't it? How you can roll over something with something in the truck and it doesn't always go. I do not like that one. What is wrong? Oh, I love this game. It is such a unique experience. Truly, I'm not mocking, but it is so amazing how things can happen in this game. Right, we need to move this out of the way now. We need the trailer. Now then, let's not get too close. I've got a little to respect for these concrete plinths after the last time I tangled with them. Remember, I get out on the right hand side on this. So I've still got my indicator going on there. I have. Right, can I get past that? Let's go forward a little. Oh, trouble is, I know what we'll do. Let's do that. Otherwise we're not going to get past it. Say there really is not much room for manoeuvring on this. But this is definitely a time when I would... No, let's go for it. Roughly where I'm going. Let's just test myself and not give in at the first sign of... I need to be well over there. Not far off. Yeah, oh wow. 82, oh wow. I think we've still got a little bit of digestate still to process. No, we haven't, so that is it. I'm well chuffed with that, that is amazing. That's almost four lots, and we know that the price on the slurry yard is amazing for this, so we should, I guess, almost for, let's see, say just over 100 grand. Don't know why I've chosen a little semi-argon. Oh well, it's nice to give this an outing, but yeah, it would have been a much wiser decision to use the more powerful big Sammy to do this. Can you see it moving sometimes? It literally wanders a touch because it really is struggling with a 25-ton load, whereas the other Sammy, this is a walk in the park, as the saying goes. Yeah, can you just imagine, obviously this is 25,000, 25 tonnes of digest at 25,000 litres. Imagine if we did do this with the way that I was showing with the little 6,000ers, or the 10,000s, just make sure if we're good. It really would be, oh, well overshot that answer. Well overshot it. So, it's just a touch. There was a car coming, so let's have a look. Yeah, it's going for me. Could have been worse. It has been worse, as you've all seen, so yes. Ooh, still not in time. 10 to 4. God, it's the only thing with speeding time, but when you're doing something, you're totally oblivious, and then all of a sudden it goes dark, and you think, oh, Yeah, time. Got 6 minutes and 21 seconds till the end of this recording session, so truthfully I'm not going to worry about that. We're literally going to do this where we've emptied that. I probably will leave the manure now until tomorrow. It was over winter, let's be honest. There are very few jobs that can be done, so if we can get all of the digestate done in this episode, even if it extends it just a touch, we will do. And then tomorrow we'll do the manure. I would like to see the payout though tonight as well from these. So we'll literally speed up time until 12 o'clock so we can see the full extent. So looking at this, I'm not sure that we're not going to be able to. We might be fortunate enough to buy the. I'm going to swap the Sammys over as well when I take this back and do it with it. Oh wow, that great demand is still active and it's on that as well. That's not normal. That's usually about 5 to 10 grand cheaper than that. So that is a bonus. Fantastic. Oh, that was not planned, but hey, I'll take it. This one. I'm trying to get into good habits with that, to give myself plenty of swing space. Definitely decided though, this Let's Play has fully decided me that next time I'm not going for that combination of the big windrower plus the baler in one go. It causes, in my opinion, more hassle than it causes more problems, even though the idea is fantastic, as a lot of these things are in Farming Simulator, but the actual, sometimes the reality of what you actually get is oftentimes. I think there's a car trying to come past me. I can see lights. Let's just have a look. No, it wasn't. Let's try and pull in. Drop off. And swap tractors. Indicator off. Going to make that difficult to get on the way out because it goes in heavily to the left when I need to use the little Sammy, I think, for that one. It'll be quite difficult to use the big one to actually get into that tight an angle. Amazing sometimes how your brain has one of them. I'm not going to say the word that people often use because it could be taken as slightly crass, but your brain has one of those moments and just can't remember things that it normally can. Drivers. Good. Oh, I'm well chuffed with that great demand on the slurry yard. That was talk about perfect timing. I like it when a plan comes together, even if it wasn't a plan. It'd be good if you did indicate in this game, it actually did mean that the vehicles paid attention to you and actually stopped and let you do something. It would be nice. actually achieved something. I was right just about, mate. Switch some lights on because at 5 to 4 it would be just about getting ready to go pitch black in Britain at this time in winter. So headlights it is. Indicator. The twinkling of the lights on those houses. Amazing. I'm liking this. This is excellent. So, plan of action then, just to recap. Buy that farm. Then we're going to need, first top priority is a cedar of some sort. Now, I have actually got one of my favourite cedars. I'll do it in the next time, so we're nearly empty now. No, actually, I'll do it as we go in. In fact, yeah, let's have a... Oh, I will get it right. Oh, one of my favourite cedars for a starting up situation. There are some really big ones of these, but that's my time of waking me up and saying that it's time. One of my first ones is, I do like the casting ones. Now I like those, but I find it at 36 metres really casting seeds. Again, it's a game, I know, but I just want to add a bit of realism. But let's face it, casting was done before any kind of tool, so there is one little mod that I do like using. Perfect startup. The Lizard Lancer 600 seeder. I'm thinking canola because it's got a good temperature range for a first thing, and also late the planting season, and that's going to be doable. But if we're going to do that, then we're going to need to either plough or cultivate the fields. Now I normally go for the no cultivate route, so I'm not sure whether that is a good idea. This is another one of my favourites. It is in the planters. I know it's not massive, but it's the big one of the Optima V, the modded one. That is the Optima V Universal Planter that does everything. It's only got a 4.5 metre spread, but that one offers the possibility to seed directly, no previous cultivate or planter. So it's 24 grand. So it's whether we're going to have 24 grand at that particular point. That would, though, give us a start. It's going to take a while to plant that field at the back. That's my plan. That would be either, if I can't afford it, to go with the 3000, but then we need to hire cultivator if we're going to go that route, or preferably the Optima. Even if we have to go second hand, I would imagine you'd probably get that for about 16 grand if you did it that, but it's still a lot of money. I suppose we could take a loan out for a little bit. As I said, the solar panels do give you a little bit over time, that you've got to sort of bear that in mind. You can afford a little implement like that every few days. Got a car to be saw it in the distance. Once it puts added pressure though, I find when you've got something that's bearing down you, that's usually when you clang into a gatepost because you don't allow your pull out room. But for once, yeah, plenty of fuel, a bit of repair work to be done on it, but nothing to worry about, nothing that's going to affect anything at the minute. Because I need to swing out and then come in. I've got anything behind me, that is a question. No. Yes, I have now. Oh, you were not going to... Oh, I knew I was going to do that. See it, and I was knowing what was going to happen next. I know, Governor. 32,800. We're going to do it this time as well, because we always keep saying every single time on this, oh, I'll leave that 4,000 for next time, and then I don't. So this time we're going to take the 25,000 and come back and completely empty this, because again, this is close. We know we need this time to actually achieve our goal. So I think we're going to do it though, to be honest. I'm trying to pull too tightly on that. We got 30 something last time. This is a full one. That's going to take us up to 270, 280. Yeah, I see you. I see your headlights. I knew you were coming. Right, let's see. Yeah, so that's the plan. It doesn't really matter about the other things. If we've got a no-till seeder or planter, that planter, even if it's only 4.5 metres spread, we can get those 2 fields done at the farmyards that we're going to get. I'm not sure as well with having, as I said, my major plan is, and that's going to take some serious dough next year, is to get the big low nopes cattle in that other field 5, so that will be the loss of that grass field totally at that point. So then we'll be reliant on the 3 grass fields we've got, and obviously the crops at that point, unless they wither or anything bad. Let's just have a look, see if there's anything coming. No, we're good. Oh, it's not that way though. Got to be careful. You can clip the right hand side just as much as you can the left. So yes, that's the plan of action. It's on the radio. Punk. Alright. Right, let's see what we're going to get. And bearing in mind also we've got that 80 tonnes of manure to do tomorrow at the BGA, and also the digestate from that. I think we're going to do this. I truly do. With the payout from the digester and the digestate, what's left from that, it's only 70 grand, isn't it? Ooh. Oh yeah. Still got half of this to get done. Ooh, 330 is the target. So wow, that is an absolute bumper. 34,000. Couldn't have come at a better time for us, could it really? Really, that is just absolutely ace. Right, last little tiny bit now from the digestate, maybe take us up to 300,000. Hopefully, so that leaves 30 grand from the payout at the BGA tonight. And bearing in mind we have got that 80,000 as well, 80,000 litres of manure from there, and also the rest of it over winter. Maybe if we're fortunate, might get another 80,000, 80 tonnes by the time of the end of winter. There's going to be no crop money coming in, so literally it's just going to be not even any grass either. Literally that's all over now. Let's just check. Very good. So it's just manure and digestate through the winter. Amazing how the mirrors even actually do realistically get the light blur from. I got a flash on the either the mirror or the windscreen there, which is very true to life. Look there, that flash, quite phenomenal. The physics in some ways are absolutely, they've done such a fantastic job, and it is a difficult thing when you consider the worlds, the sets of rules that the physics of the universe are quite a phenomenal thing. So for a game creator to get so much of the physics to be so right, the dynamic lighting and the reflections is really quite an achievement. Something that sometimes we, as most human beings, we harp on the failures rather than the successes, because there are an awful lot of successes. I mean, one of the first things I noticed was wood cutting. That the mechanics of that is really is quite painful at times, especially the crane side of things. But again, it's that balance, you know, what they have got right. I suppose it is a human failing, though, isn't it? Truthfully, is to look at the fails. You do tend to gloss over the successes, but it's not really a good thing, is it, when you truthfully think about it? Because this is a cracking game. Switch the lights off. Just leave that and speed up time to 12 o'clock. Let's use the 2000. It'll still be paying out, but at least 10, 11, 46. We've done it. 343,000. Amazing. Right. Well, that is the victory of this time. We are literally going to buy that. We've done it. Absolutely amazing. So within the first year, let's just take one moment just to see what we've actually achieved in this light. Field 19, Field 18, Field 16, Field 5. Obviously, the other things are all bought from the start, from scratch, actual startup money. We bought Field 16 and the Whitney BGA from that. So progression is really Field 5, all of the animals, 18 and 19, and now the farmyard. And I am going to, well, I'm not going to do it this time, but I am truthfully going to, I would imagine that there's probably crops in the silo, because most of the times on most maps they do that. So yes, we will allow the selling of that, because I do want that other, the one that I showed you guys a couple of episodes ago. So we will do that. Okay, so this is where we're going to leave it. We're going to do the rest of the changes in the next episode. But fantastic, absolutely wonderful in the first year, all of the success that we've actually achieved from just taking a moment to remember where we started from. We had this field, and if you remember, we went into the red almost immediately. I couldn't even afford to place a container mod. It was quite amazing. We had to wait for a bit of time for the first let of fertiliser. Haven't we? I personally think that is quite an achievement to... let's just have a look. The animals, which we will fix next time. 63 animals. They should be actually not far off. Yeah, something 0.3 years. Wow, that's phenomenal. So they're going to be giving birth. Excellent. So I think we've done so very well in achieving all that we've done so far to date. And so it's not finished. Let's just have a look. Manure, 91,000, so that's over 2 loads to the BGA. So looking at that 19,000, I said we needed that probably for a second-hand plant, I reckon, to be honest. I reckon we'll do that. We'll get one of the Optimas easily by the time that we're thinking of sowing at the beginning of spring, so yes, it's looking quite rosy. So with that in mind, thank you very much for watching. Hopefully this has not been too boring an episode. I know we've taken bales to the BGA again, which obviously there's always going to be you taking whatever crops you've got to the sale points. So whether that sale point changes or not, you've got to do it, haven't you? And also, you've got to do that if you are bringing people on a Let's Play with you, to show them the payouts and all the rest of it. Hopefully I made a little bit more progress on speeding up the time, so it was a little less painful than it normally is with me dragging you through there for 10 minutes solid. Hopefully I'm learning on this. But again, once more, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Thank you, and bye.